Hello Pre-Calculus, and welcome to the next section. Also welcome to Monday. I know it's the beginning of the week, you're very excited. This is the first time you've had Mr. Bill without ever having really Mr. Bill in the classroom. Don't mess it up. Big things this week. Number one, it's Monday, and it's sometime during the day. Today I'll be making presentations to roughly 1,300 students, and I think I'll be missing teaching you guys, which is strange. Feels special. No, really, feels special. The next section that we are working on deals with finding inverses and inverse functions. Okay, the inverse functions. Now, inverse functions, let's say that we have f of x, which is a function, and let's say that it's equal to 4 times x. Now, to find the inverse of the function, what's going to be happening is basically we're going to be finding something that we can do to this function so that a composition of functions would yield simply x. Okay? So let's think about this. We have f of x is equal to 4 times x. Now, if I had to do something to 4 times x, something's going to happen to it, and the result is going to be x. Okay? Right now I'm multiplying by 4x, so you might be able to think, okay, what can I do to multiplying by 4x to get back to just x by itself? How can I get rid of that 4? Well, that would mean that I would divide by 4, right? Or I would multiply by 1/4. And 1/4 times x, 1/4 times the quantity 4x will yield me this x value. And so my g of x value is going to be 1/4 of, well, not 4x, but 1/4 times x. This is the inverse of this function up here. Let's take another approach to it. Okay? If we have a function f of x, okay, and it's a function, so each member of the domain has one and only one member of the range, okay, we can find an inverse of x, which is read f to the f, and it looks like a -1 before the x here underneath. Now this isn't f to the -1 power of x. This is read f inverse. F inverse of x. And it's read the f inverse of x. And what will result here is if we take f of x, whatever function it is, and we have f of x of the inverse of f of x, if we have f of the f inverse of x, we will be left with, or we will come out with, simply x. Conversely, if we have f inverse of f of x, this is equal to a positive x. Let's see what we're talking about here. Okay? Basically, what is going to be happening? The example provided to you in example 1 about finding an inverse function informally, okay, we're looking at a function f of x. And this f of x that they give us is f of x is equal to 4 times x. Okay? Now remember, the f inverse of x is something that will yield, when we do a composition of functions, of f of the f inverse of x, this will equal, ultimately, x. Okay? And so, let's try it this way. We now have, looking for the f of f inverse of x, I'm going to have 4 times something, and it needs to give me x. Okay? 4 times something. And when we're looking for that something, okay, this something, which we can call the F inverse of x, okay, if we wanted to get F inverse of x by itself, well, I would just divide both sides by 4. Which leaves us with the F inverse of x equal to x divided by 4. Now, we don't have anything else left in front of F inverse of x, so let's try the composition. Okay, let's try the composition here that says that the F of F inverse of x should give me just x. So, F of x, again, is 4 times x. And we think that F inverse of x is x over 4. We found that again by taking 4 times the F inverse of x and setting it equal to x. We divided both sides by 4. That's how we found it. So let's try it. We have F of F inverse of x is supposed to be equal to 4 times the quantity x divided by 4. Well, this is really equal to 4 times x, all divided by 4, which is equal to, these 4's are going to cancel out, which is equal to x. We're halfway there. We now need to check whether the inverse of f, or the F inverse of f of x, is also equal to x. I know it seems tedious and kind of weird why it wouldn't work out, but sometimes it doesn't. Okay? Checking F inverse of x. F inverse of f of x. Okay, again, we've found that F inverse of x is equal to x over 4. Okay, checking the other way around. F inverse of f of x leaves me with F inverse, well, it's my x value, which is 4x, all divided by 4. Well, that's the same thing. And this 4 cancels, this 4 cancels. And I get x. So the F inverse that we just found is x divided by 4.